What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. My name is Luis Garcia. This is my cousin Will.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
So today we kind of have, I was going to work on a different video. We had different plans for today.
Yeah, today didn't go.
It didn't go as planned.
Just planned at all, but
We're still here, and you guys are still watching us.
you want me to start?
You want to say?
I'll tell them. Okay, so essentially, yesterday, Lewis hits me up. He goes, "All right, bro. I want to do a video tomorrow. I'm gonna go look at some cars on auction, and we can make a whole video out of it. We'll post it on my social media."
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's for the series that I started, so make sure to go catch up on that video. I started a new series where I flip cars.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you flip cars. Anyways, he called me up for that video. I was like, "Lewis, it's late," and he's like, "Yo, slide right now." And I was like, "All right." So, long story short, I got to his house at 2 a.m. last night. This morning we wake up, whatever. We're getting ready to head out to head toward the auction. He's got his mechanic on speed dial. Everything's about to happen, and then he gets a call, and he gets informed that his mechanic's not gonna be able to make it today. Now, we're not gonna go out there and look at cars without a mechanic.
Exactly.
So those plans kind of got ruined and postponed, but it still will happen, just not right now. So we were like, well, we got to make the best of it. I live pretty far away, so it was a drive. So I was like, well, we do something with our time, and we decided to start just recording a video and I guess just talk a little bit about, conversate, give you guys some content to look at, listen to. So that's where we are right now. But yeah.
So
That's how we got to a Starbucks lobby.
yeah, we are at a Starbucks. So we're at a Starbucks lobby, so if it does sound a little bit too loud, we got our mics right here. We didn't come all prepared, but we do have some topics to talk about those. So,
Bro, Starbucks water hits.
for sure, I got my water right here too. Anyways, so we're gonna try to do sort of a short type of podcast. We got some topics to talk about. Last night when he came over, it was pretty late. We're eating some tacos, some birria tacos, which absolutely slaps at 2 a.m.
I show up at 2 a.m. This dude, he's just chilling, right? He doesn't even have a shirt on, and he's like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Yo," and he's like, "I got birria tacos in the fridge." And I was like, "Heat them up."
We ate. So,
needless to say, we were eating birria tacos at 2:30 in the morning in the table.
and while that was happening, we were kind of talking and reflecting back on life, and to where we are right now in our lives. I'm 20 years old. He's 21. I just turned 20, and where we are heading in life and our goals and ambitions. Like, we started reflecting back on life, and we've gotten really far. And we took some time to reflect. He's my cousin. We're blood related, and we want to just like how we grew up together, just have that conversation, and a lot came in that conversation, and we have certain topics that we want to reach and talk about. So if you want to touch base on that too.
I guess what sparked this idea was, I guess, the convo we were having last night. We got in deep with it, and we were like, you know what, the conversation we're having right now should be recorded, and people should listen to this. I think it would help the younger generation out.
There's definitely a lot of value in our conversations.
Yeah.
So a lot of people can grab certain pinpoint some ideas from what we speak of, and it can benefit their life.
And in no way we're not like veterans. We don't.
We're young.
Like, we're not old and wise, but we've been through things. We have experiences to relay on the younger generation.
Absolutely.
The people who are coming to be our age. I mean, like, for kids our age, I mean, there are some people who go down different paths, but I guess I felt like it would be helpful to just talk about our specific situation, because everyone's situation is different.
Absolutely.
But if you can, like you said, take things from specific advice, from different people, and hear everyone's story out, you can put that to use.
And something we say could definitely benefit your life, especially if you're our age. Like he mentioned, we're not the wisest, and I'm just 20, he's just 21. But at the same time, I feel like we have lived our lives in a way that has benefited us to be at a different level at some point. Everybody's like you said, everybody's at a different level. But maybe you want to get to a level that maybe you're not at right now, and we are at it. We experience something in life that could just help you. So I wanted to talking about that. Tell me, what are some Challenges.
Did you touch base on them and tell them that we're related? They know we're related, or?
Yeah, we're related.
Okay, well, I guess you didn't
We're
tell
blood
them.
related.
We are cousins.
I think I did mention it.
I'm not sure if you did, but we are cousins. You know, we've known each other our whole lives, so we come from, and like I said, we come from the same family. Like, we're related and all that, but we're from two different cloths, you know, cut from different cloths. And we had two different ways of growing up and two completely different experiences, you know. I mean, he's always lived more down south, and I've always lived a little bit more North Florida as well. But like I said, we have very different experiences, so it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
All right, so you just want to get into it?
Let's get into it. All right. I wanted to ask you first, so we can start off. What are some challenges that you consider you had growing up?
Yeah.
Some challenges you faced.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. What are some challenges you faced?
Getting heavy quick. Okay. So obviously, and I'm not the only person who experienced this by far, but I feel like I didn't ever come from wealth. Like, my family didn't ever have like a wealthy background of any kind.
Right.
There was no generational wealth involved in my family specifically. I guess my side of the family, because you're technically my family, but my immediate. And growing up, that kind of like, it kind of causes you to have like this hyper independent way of thinking. You almost like, you want to grow from where you're at,
right,
because of where you've been. So sorry, I'm not picking my nose, I have a nose ring. You gain this like hyper independent mode that you get into, and when I was really young, I started looking for a job because I wanted money for myself, you know?
Right.
14, I started working construction and under the table with a bunch of other guys, and then, you know, there's a long list of jobs I've done, but it's just I've always been working. Never had like this, I want to like just have fun and like, you know, whatever, just do nothing and have no job. It's just, I've always worked, and I guess that is from that challenge that I faced growing up. Yeah.
It could be seen as a challenge, but I feel like that's an opportunity that we had also, because like I relate to him. I grew up at 14 years old, 15 years old. I got my first job at Hollister at 14 years old, and I also chose that route to work really hard to get my stuff, to be independent, right, and to, you know, focus on myself, you know, make my money, while everybody else was like partying in middle school, high school, and hanging out and going to prom and all these things. I stayed home where I'll accept the shift and I'll work, you know? And it started from a very young age. I started at 14 at Hollister. I really hated retail. Just the whole idea of clocking in and work.
I can't stand retail.
It sucked so bad, and I decided to get into, you said construction. I did similar painting and drywall repairs and baseboard and doing all of those things. And I worked really hard in the sun, full of paint. I actually got video proof. I got pictures that I could probably put up real quick on how heavy it was for me growing up, you know, at 15, 16 years old, working really hard. And keep in mind, I also had a lot of ambitions, you know, growing up. I was at 8 years old, 9, 10 years old with a waterproof camera recording.
I don't want to cut you off, but let me tell you something. This dude, literally, like he said, since we were kids, he almost always had a camera aiming at our faces. Like, and I want you to find a clip and post it on here.
I will.
We'll let it play.
What's up, guys? The whole squad is here. Floppy Sucks is here.
Alright. Literally, that is Lewis from God knows how long ago. Since I can remember, he's always been recording us. He's like always wanted these ambitions with like entrepreneurship, but specifically videography. He's really into it. He always had these dreams. I can't remember what he said. You said you wanted to be a YouTuber.
I always wanted to be a YouTuber. Just content creation in general, social media, work around social media. Yeah.
But like I said, I can't remember a time when there hasn't been a camera in my face because this dude's shoving it.
It's been a long time. This is.
Now you've asked me a question. I feel like it's only fair I ask you one back. So I actually want to know, what are some specific, like, not specific, but in general, setbacks that you experienced on your journey to figuring out who you wanted to be in life, you know?
So, let's go back to where I was wrecking painting, right?
Yeah.
Let's go way beyond that.
Oh, we're going way back.
Way back. So how he mentioned, I always wanted to be a YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
I always had those ambitions and goals of working with social media, doing content creation of some sort. And back in that time when I was this is why back when I was like 12, I actually let go of it. I didn't have the best camera quality. The content I was doing was very cringy. It was very bad actually. I was what, 10, 11 years old, recording prank videos. Or recording a vlog, you know, we were outside, which the video you guys just saw, it was like I was doing a Nerf war. I remember that video very specific. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was a Nerf war and we all had like Pazy YT was my name. His was Floppy Socks.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about. We're not gonna get into that.
We're gonna get that deep.
We're not getting that deep. We're gonna pass Floppy Socks right by.
Anyways,
Continue talking about Lewis. Son Lewis. Continue talking.
I had to mention that. Anyways, you get my point. It was something that was not set in stone. That I was just like experimenting with it, and I think I let that go. I let those ambitions go for a little bit, and I started doing things that I'm not very proud of, like hanging with the wrong crowd. I did really bad in school. Matter of fact, I actually dropped out of high school, and yeah, everybody knows that except you guys. So welcome to you're now in the loop. You guys
say it one more time. I act like I'm shocked this time.
Yeah. So I actually did leave high school, and this was before this. All right, so right before I left on high school, I really wanted to get into entrepreneurship. First it started with wanting to be a trader, a day trader, and trading in Forex, because everybody was doing Forex. See, if you're an entrepreneur, you know what I mean, or like you were part of that era where everybody was doing Forex. I quickly came to realize that it wasn't for me, that's not something I'm interested in. I wanted to start a business, and I started multiple businesses.
Let's not even talk about the businesses right now. This dude did start a lot of businesses, but I guess, honestly, he was a little bit all over the place when he had first started trying to figure out who he was. And from my perspective, at least, he tried YouTube and stocks and what was it called? Drop shipping, that's the term for it.
Yep.
To then go actually mold it. He molded it into kind of his own brand at that point. He kind of steered away from drop shipping, became drastically oversaturated. Like everyone just started doing it, so it just flopped. I mean, it was really hard to be successful in drop shipping at the time that we had started to try that, because I also tried it, but it's mainly him. But yeah,
I think all of those things though were setbacks for me. Why? At the same time, it wasn't though. So it ended up being a benefit to me, because where I am right now,
setbacks, hardships.
It was definitely a hardship, because imagine being 16, 17, working really hard, working a full-time job, working in the sun, having a whole bunch of ambitions, right? You started working and you started getting income, and then you get a sort of level of comfortability, right? You get comfortable, you start being independent. I started getting my first car, then my second car, because I started making good money. I dropped out of high school. It was 16, 17 years old. I've already been through 2 cars. I work really hard. I feel like a whole man, and everybody else is still in school. I felt like I was like at a different level than everybody else that was my age, you know? But all those, even with all of those things happening, I still felt like it was a setback. Like, this is not the path that I want to go. It feels good in the moment, but this is not where I want to be headed. And this is not where I want to see myself the next 5-10 years. So I started early, which was a benefit to me. But a setback was, everybody telling me, you shouldn't have left school, you should have started a profession. You're like, what if it doesn't work out? What if it this? What if that? And honestly, I felt like it was a setback for me. I felt like I set myself up for failure. I left school, I started working a job that I hated, and I had all these dreams and goals and ambitions that I had years ago. I let all of that go, and I'm like, where am I right now? I'm really young, but where am I headed? Like,
it's easy to get caught up in that stuff, man.
Exactly, especially in the moment when you're living through it. It messes with your head a little bit.
You ever seen that video? It's a clip from The Amazing World of Gumball, and the guy's like, I go to sleep, I wake up, I go to work. I go to sleep, I wake up, I go to work.
Yep, I've seen it.
I go to sleep, I wake up, I go to work. And that's really what it is, honestly. There's this thing called adjusted income inflation. It basically means like the more money you get, the more you adjust your lifestyle to that money.
Exactly.
And that's
most people have a $35,000 salary, and that's what they live on.
When you adjust your income, your bills to your income, you then don't have. It's really hard to like downsize or take that hit, take that risk. A lot of people become non-risk takers because they just can't afford to. And honestly, it's something that's pretty unavoidable because it's just how life is. You start making money, boom, you get a car. You start getting the car payment, boom, now you got a car payment, you gotta have full coverage. If you got full coverage, then you're paying.
Also, if you finance it, the interest on that car.
The APR can make you. I mean, it
especially
all depends,
right now in the market, it's huge. You get a car, you're looking at high interest rates.
Houses, cars, property, everything's just crazy. Groceries, bro, I spent $100 on groceries.
That's insane.
Literally last week, I spent $115 on groceries. Only it's gonna last me for the week. I eat a lot. It's no secret I'm a big boy, but I eat healthy now. So it is pay to play for your health, unfortunately, but it still should not be that much. I mean, 400 and like, goodness, 460, almost $500 a month for one person to eat and live in like a healthy, normal lifestyle. It's just crazy to me.
So let's touch base real quick on the last thing that we were mentioning right now, the setbacks. I feel like those things were setbacks to me.
Yeah.
In a way, but at the same time it wasn't. Because I took a risk. I took a very high risk.
It's experience.
Too. But it led me to experience. Like we had mentioned, I've tried day trading, drop shipping, all of these different things. For example, the drop shipping, it might have not worked. I actually drop shipped watches before. That's the most I made money. I made like maybe $1,200 realistically, selling watches for like high ticket price. They're like $200 a watch. And I sold a couple watches. That was really cool. But the skill set that I learned, which is the most important thing out of that whole drop shipping thing, I'm not gonna get into too much drop shipping because I don't do that, but was creating websites. That was a skill set that I learned. That is a very high paid skill set.
And if you do it right, it works.
It works.
You know?
It works.
But not everyone can create a website. A lot of websites flop because a lot of people don't put enough time and energy into it.
Yep, exactly. The content creation and social media. Look where we are now. You guys are. I created my channel. I'm up 3.3 thousand subscribers. On Snapchat, I'm getting thousands of views as well right now. Yeah. Instagram, it keeps growing steadily, but it's growing. TikTok is growing as well. So all my social media platforms, ever since I started, doing this social media right now, I think it's been like 3 weeks since I started. So it's pretty recent, but it's been growing. It's been growing. And it's definitely something that I put my foot down that I'm really interested in doing once again.
And but he's been posting like crazy because I don't stop getting notifications from this guy. Like, Lewis posted this, Lewis posted this. I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
He has been going crazy the last 3 weeks. It's true.
Exactly. So it hasn't been a setback. It's been a setback, but in disguise, it's been a blessing to me because I learned a skill set and I took a risk. And if I would have never dropped out of high school, being realistic, bro, if I would have never dropped out of high school, never would have set my foot down and tried to get into this entrepreneurial journey, I would have never been where I'm at right now. And that's just being realistic. The mindset that I have right now, how I live my life, how I, preserve my money or want to grow it, how I provide value, the mindset just in general, and how I learned a lot of wisdom from the things I've done. If I would have never took that risk, I would never be where I'm at. And I want to get to that real quick, to how valuable our time is as well. I truly believe that, your time is extremely valuable. Yeah. If I would have, like I said, there's some people that don't do anything with their lives. If you would have dropped out, let's say you put yourself in my shoes, right? And you dropped out of high school at the age of 16, 17, and let's say I decided to not work at all and not learn a skill set. At that moment, it felt like a setback. Like I'm taking a risk. I don't know what's gonna happen. I was really young. I didn't have an optimistic mindset at that moment in my life. Yeah. I was just like blindly following a path that I didn't know where it was gonna take me, right? But if I didn't value my time in that moment in time, right, I would have never been where I'm at right now. I probably would have been, everybody that left, graduated the time that I was supposed to graduate. They started working. They started getting their cars. Which, by the way, I'm not telling you. I'm not recommending you to drop out of high school. It's very few people that would actually do that. Yeah. But you have to have a plan if you do that. Just saying. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying stay in school, kids. If you're watching, just stay in school. I just have to say that. Get that out of the way. I don't want to seem like I'm anyways. Our time is extremely valuable because, like I said, if I didn't do those things and I didn't learn the skill set, I would never be where I'm at. What was the time that you have valued your time, or that you noticed that honestly, your time is extremely valuable?
Now that I'm 21 years old,
because you mentioned, like, Oh, you didn't. That was the first bit. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Now that I'm 21 years old, honestly, when you think back on stuff, you realize how valuable that time actually is. Because there's a lot of times that I would rather work instead of hanging out with buddies or friends, you know. And I feel like I had a pretty decent childhood. Like, I spent my time wisely outside. Didn't stay, like, glued to the phone or anything like that. I was outside riding bikes, scraping my knee and all that other stuff.
Me too.
But that ended fast, you know. When I became of age to start working, that's when I started getting out of that lifestyle and kind of feel like I almost forgot how to be a kid for a while. Now that I'm 21 and there's no going back, it's like you really tend to realize that you could have appreciated this a lot more back then. You know, I'm out of high school, I'm out of middle school, very, very well. I'm a full-on adult now, and it's very different compared to how it was, you know. But like I said, I mean, everyone has their regrets in life, and sometimes you think that you could have done things differently, but I'm in a good place right now, and honestly, if I wouldn't have done everything the way I did, I could not be here right now. You know, I could be doing something else. So, take it all with a grain of salt. That's what I would say.
What he just mentioned, you know, growing up, it happened with you, it happened with me. We got right to work. Us as men, I feel like that's how we should live our life. Like, we're just, in general, for centuries now, men are the hard workers. We're the one that wake up, do things that we don't want to do, and that's just life.
It's not even how. I mean, honestly, it's just, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
We're providers, you know, for our future families. We have to be providers. We have to provide, and especially in today's market, like we've mentioned, everything is so expensive. So we really have to work hard, harder than ever. Than back then, you work hard and you get paid a little bit. Now you gotta like pay a lot, and they take a lot. Anyways, it's very hard to get to a very comfortable position, especially young, especially how things are right now. So we grow up and we want to sort of rush things, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like
we want to rush things.
You want to grow up fast.
You want to grow up fast. You want to get to work.
And like I said, I always wanted to grow up. I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to move out, this and this and that. I can't wait to have my own job, my own car, and all this. I have those things now, but I kind of wish I wasn't looking forward. I spent so much time looking forward to those things as a kid.
Yep.
That I didn't realize that I'm getting home cooked meals every day, tucked in the bed, you know.
You can watch movies anytime you want.
Like all that stuff you overlook when you're worried about growing up. So
Exactly.
it sucks, but
you miss out on the actual moment that you're living your life. Focusing too much on the future. You shouldn't really focus on the future. Everything sort of plays out in life.
I agree.
So for my young entrepreneurs, for my young people that are watching this, if you're one of those persons that like, I'm working and I want to be a millionaire and I want to do this, it all comes in time. It all comes at the right time. And I also believe in God's timing, and God's timing is absolutely perfect. You know, you might do whatever, your setbacks, whatever, but everything plays out at the end. And just truly enjoy the moment. You know, for whoever's watching this video, enjoy the moment that you are right now in life, and take enjoyment in what you have. You know, don't like you said, you overlook and you worry too much in the present moment about the future that you miss out on the moment. You know, in your current life. You know, whatever is happening. In the
comparison is the thief of joy, and
you couldn't have said it perfectly.
It's one of those things where it's like you grow up and like you see kids older than you, or you see people like social media is like completely drained. Or that's a whole rabbit hole. That's a whole rabbit hole. But we're gonna move forward. But needless to say, you're focused on the future and wanting to be where someone else is at. That you're not realizing you are right where you're supposed to be. You know, sometimes, and I dealt with that. I used to be like, I'm not working hard enough. I need to have this now, and need to do this now. Need to be here now. But honestly, that's what kind of makes you lose sight of where you are, you know, the time frame that you need to be enjoying in your life.
Yep.
But all right, let's move on. We've talked a lot about that. So I got a question for you. What are currently right now, what are some goals and ambitions that you have? You know, like what is your end goal right now for Luis Garcia?
It's very simple.
Oh yeah?
It's very simple.
Okay.
Right now, I'm working on flipping cars.
Okay.
You know, I'm doing all of those things. I'm working on my personal brand.
Let's talk about end goals.
End goals.
End goals. Like
by what time?
Like, what do you want to when you're fully established, right? What do you want to say you do?
I help people.
Right.
I inspire others and I provide value to others.
What do you want to say you do for work? Like, what's your job?
Content creation, bro.
There you go.
I want to help businesses. I'm a very business type person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very intrigued by it, by the whole idea of it, social media, and the only, you know, a way that I can involve all of that in one thing and be able to do what I'm actually passionate about is like inspire others, help others. So do that for myself while I also do that for other people. Like, let's say you have a personal brand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and record you. Or a business, let's say barbershop. I go out and I record, and I know and I understand the power of social media, bro, and how more views can equal more clients. So I just, you know, record for people and be a benefit to others. And that's where I see myself in the next 5 years, being honest, like growing and scaling my business to, you know, I don't know how far I can take it, but I know I can definitely start and be able to do that, you know, work with my camera, work with a team of people, with a media team, create fire, you know, content for other businesses that would make more money, you know, more clients.
Yeah.
Scale the stuff that I do and the videos that I do and progress and just sort of scale, you know, climb the stairs up to wherever it can, you know, take me. So that's definitely what the goals and the plans, ambitions that I have right now in my current state. Definitely going all of that. Starting that. Right now I did a football video. Make sure to go watch that.
That came out really good too. Yeah.
Came out good. It's like very cinematic. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you the same question. What are some goals that you have, some ambitions that you are currently working on? What's the near future, bro? Tell me.
Okay, so right now my schedule's crazy, but I'll talk about what it is in a second. But as far as current goals and ambitions, where I want to be in life when I'm fully established and have what I want, I'm in school right now to be a firefighter paramedic.
If he doesn't look like one already.
And those are my ambitions. Eventually, I would like to be able to get to a level where I can achieve a higher level of authority at the fire department, whether that be lieutenant or chief. I mean, chief is a lot, don't get me wrong, but to be a lieutenant or a captain would be an insane opportunity. That's a very far goal, but that's like an end goal for me. And yeah, my ambitions, I make music. I've always been passionate about music. That's something I've done since I was a kid. I mean, I can't remember the time that I've been in choir my whole life since I was in school. After choir, I started going into music production and I started focusing on songwriting myself. That has carried with me. That's been my hobby for the longest time. And then also, I want to be a firefighter paramedic. So what comes with that is having to be fit to a certain degree. So fitness has been a part of my life for the last 3 years, specifically. Ever since I turned 18, I really took fitness seriously. But I really took fitness seriously about 6 months ago. That's when I made the big jump in my physique, which is nothing crazy. Don't get me wrong. But been doing the right things and I've noticed the right progress. So it's promising for the future. I want to be a reliable firefighter. You know, you have to have a certain level of strength in these fields because you are literally in charge of people's lives.
Exactly.
And if you cannot use the appropriate strength to do the appropriate, you know, saving maneuvers or any of that kind of stuff, lifting, all that stuff, it's a part of the job. So that's why you take your health very seriously when you're in this field.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's my goals. That's my ambitions, man. I mentioned my hobby and all.
So you just mentioned like you're putting in a lot of effort into achieving these goals. You are going to the gym, and I could tell like he's extremely productive with his time and how he manages his time. Like you mentioned, you're 21. Like you haven't even enjoyed your 21s yet.
Yeah,
like, you're going full on at it.
So we'll talk about my schedule for a little bit. So my schedule right now, currently, we want to chop it up. We start the schedule on Monday, right? I work full time from 8 to 4 minimum, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And currently my schedule goes, I work Mondays, I study, I go to the gym. Tuesdays, I work, I have night class, medical night classes right now from 5:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays I work daytime, school nighttime. Friday I work, study. I have to take I think it's 5 quizzes every week that I have homework for school. So I do those on days I don't have class. And then I go to the gym. Saturday I go to the gym and I run errands. That's groceries, car washing, cleaning,
Because you also
washing
run a
clothes.
business. You have a mobile detailing business.
Yeah, so I run my business on the days I don't have school and the days that I have some extra time. Like it's not a lot right now, but basically I work full time. I'm in school. I'm in college. I run a side business. I do automotive detailing, and I make music. And I have a girlfriend. I love you, babe. By the way, just you're not a waste of my time, but squeezing all that stuff in there is not easy. I don't really have free time, almost ever. I mean, this is like the most free time I've had in a while.
Right.
So, shout out to Hurricane Helen. You canceled my classes Wednesday and Thursday, and you really let me get caught up on my beauty sleep. So I appreciate that. But
funny.
That's literally how busy I've been, dude. Like I honestly I was going to the gym 5 days a week before I started school.
Right.
And it moved over to 4 days a week. I go on the days I don't have school. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday are the days I go to the gym. That's all I can do. That's the most I can fit in. I cannot go any other days.
Pretty busy guy. Tell you
Yeah.
that. Pretty
Yeah.
busy guy.
So Sundays I don't have off because on Sundays I have fire rotation shifts. This is when they send students to the fire stations, and you do 12-hour shifts with the firefighters there. And they teach you hands-on experience and hands-on training. This job, you have to know how to use the equipment that you have and understand how everything works. So that's why they incorporate these hours you have to do. So I do that every Sunday on top of being in school 3 nights a week and working 5 days a week, and the gym 4 days a week, and music wherever I can fit it, and my girlfriend wherever I can fit time for her too. You know, she's always a priority, but I just got to make it work. That's
So it should be. You gotta work and definitely make it happen.
Yeah, it's just not easy, dude. I'm living life like think of it like you're just constantly speeding, and there's all this traffic, and you haven't slowed down in an hour, 2 hours. That's how you're feeling right now. Like that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm just on go mode, no slow.
Yep. Definitely. Hey, I'm in the same boat with you, bro. Where I'm going after all my dreams, my ambitions, my goals.
Yeah.
Full throttle, bro. Full throttle, and nothing's holding me back. You know, just have that laser focus on the end goal that I want to have, and just continue, have that faith that God is by my side, guiding me everywhere I go, and that's how it should be, man.
Yeah.
I'm also very interested in music as well.
Oh yeah.
Let's touch base on that. I do music. I didn't include it in my goals because that's more like something that I do on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
It's like part of my personal life, not like goals and dreams that I have. Like that's something
I mention it because it's I asked you goals and ambitions because I kind of want to cover both topics. So I mentioned what my goals were and my ambitions. I'm ambitious about music.
I'm also very ambitious about music. So I forgot to include that, but I do music as well. I sing, piano, I can play bass, a little bit of guitar. I'm not the best at guitar. I suck at guitar.
So
but I'm musically inclined.
Not to cut you off, I just thought about this. We have me, Lewis, and our cousin Carlos. We all grew up together. We're like the Three Musketeers, the Three Blind Mice, like that. The Three Fairy Godmothers, like that kind of stuff. We've always been the trio, and we all got into music at one point. I stayed in it. Lewis stayed in it, but our cousin Carlos drifted out of it. And I just think about the video I have of a song that he did. It was just so funny. Me and Carlos.
Gosh, y'all don't want to hear that.
Me and Carlos have.
Hopefully they never do the research so deep.
When I saw your eyes, yeah. But anyways, bro. Oh man, that's just a funny memory that I unlocked talking about this. All right, we gotta start closing out because I gotta head home soon.
So, I'm also very interested in music, so also stay tuned for that. I'm gonna make videos on music very soon.
Right.
I'm gonna be dropping some stuff here and there. I'm still working my way to see what I like to do and what I'd like to post.
Me and Lewis actually made a song.
We got a song.
Yeah, and it's feedback from whoever we showed it to. They really enjoy it, so it's gonna be a good one. I hope to get it on soon by the end of next month. We're gonna work on it, kind of fine tune it up, and really get things going, get the ball rolling for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Anyways, I hope you guys were able to grab some sort of value, some sort of yeah, this was a short podcast. I've never done this before, but it was pretty cool.
I mean, it's like 30, 40 minutes worth of footage at least. I mean, how much actually gets put into the video, but this is good, talking like this, and it's relaxing, honestly. It's I enjoyed it.
Appreciate you guys for watching today's video.
Yeah, man.
If you liked what you heard and you were able to pinpoint some things from what we said from our conversation,
yeah,
and
man,
you're able to apply that to your life, just be ambitious, have goals, take risk, take care of your time because your time is extremely valuable.
Yeah, we'll definitely be coming back for a part 2 because there's just so much that we still have to cover. Like,
absolutely,
you can't fit your whole lives, 2 people's lives, in 40 minutes of footage.
Right.
There'll obviously be more to talk on this subject, but yeah, I mean, as of right now, that's all the time we got. So
I hope you watch, like, subscribe, and comment. And thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.